Hi, Naomi Suzanne from Naomi's Home Health. I'm going to make pizza Bianca in the Thermomix. It's for the kids for the school afternoon school snack. So I've turned the Thermomix on. I've got my oven heated ready or heating. So to find the recipe, I've already saved it in Cookie Doo. I just go to the little lines up the top here. I go to the my week because I've saved it to cook today, and it's here. I just click on it and the recipe's ready. I don't have to go searching for it, which is amazing. So this is it here, pizza Bianca. These are the ingredients it tells you, and it also tells you what to do, preparation, anything that you might need to do. There's not a lot to do with this recipe. So I'm going to start cooking. So preheat the oven to 220 degrees. Hotter if possible. I have a pizza oven, so if I was making a lot of pizzas, I would use that. It's really, really nice. But Thermomix also does a pizza oven too that you can just sit on a tabletop, and it cooks a pizza in 60 seconds, I think, or 2 minutes. 1 or 2 minutes. It's really, really awesome. I'm going to get one of those next. Because otherwise I have to, get all this wood and everything for the pizza. Line a baking tray or a pizza tray. So normally you would make 2 pizzas with this. I'm just going to make one big one on a big tray because I'm lazy and don't have that time. So I'm going to put 2 garlic cloves in here. I've got a massive garlic clove and a smaller one. I'm going to pop them in there. Oops. And now it says 3 sprigs of fresh rosemary. I've got basil here because that's what I had. So I'm not going to put it in just yet because it's not as woody and tough as rosemary. So I'll put it in the next step. You can use oregano, rosemary if you like. I just had basil, so that's why I'm using it. Insert the measuring cup into the lid in the mixing bowl. And it tells me 4 seconds, speed 7. And it's got a little mark where I need to turn the dial. So it's pretty simple. Chopping my garlic. I hate using those garlic presses. You waste so much of the garlic and it takes forever to clean them little things. So it now tells me just to scrape down the sides. I'm going to add in my basil now. Oops, I've lost some. Oh. Smells good. Put the lid on and the same again. Speed 7. And that's it. Next, transfer it to a bowl and set aside. Oh, smell that. Beautiful basil. So look, it's chopped it for me. I don't know how long it takes you to chop herbs, but it takes me a while. They go everywhere. Herbs, garlic, all of that. My onion, no more chopping for me. So I'm going to leave a tiny bit of it in here just to flavour the dough. So you can see just little bits and pieces in there, won't hurt. Pop that over there. Now, 220 grams of water. Now, when you make pizza and you have yeast, normally you have to have the right temperature water. This is going to do it for me. So here is my scales. It's telling me, I make sure I hit the tare. So it's on 0. It's going to tell me how much water. I've already weighed it out just to make sure I don't go over. But I did 222. Next, you can. It says you can use raw sugar. I don't think I need sugar in it. It says optional. 2 teaspoons of dried instant yeast. 1 teaspoon. Right. Now this is super. Like I normally make so much mess when I make pizza dough, but not anymore. Right. Insert. Simple. So it's going to heat the water and the yeast, so it doesn't do it too much. 2 minutes, 37 degrees, just to get it at the right temperature. Because normally I struggle with that temperature for the yeast. So, and then while that's cooking, you could be making the sauce. I would make the sauce in here, but if you're making it on the stovetop, you could be chopping up bacon, whatever it is you might want to put on it. If you're making an actual pizza, this is going to be very different. It's just a basic snack. You could have it before a meal, an appetizer, something really simple. And now make sure you have a warm spot in your house that you can put the dough to warm up, and so it will rise. I've replaced normal flour with gluten-free flour many times, and it works out perfect. So if you're gluten-free, you can swap out the flours. There's only got a minute to go, but I don't have to do anything. This is the beauty of the Thermomix. You're not stirring. Like if I was sauteing onions and garlic, I would be standing there sauteing them with a spoon and making sure the onions don't go too brown. But when I'm using the Thermomix, it just does it for me. I can chop other things up, I can do other things, I can help kids with homework, whatever it is. This saves me time. It encourages me to cook healthy food because it has a lot of recipes in here. I can choose chicken one night, the next night I can have vegetarian. I can meal plan for 2 weeks ahead. It'll give me a shopping list at the end of everything that is in the recipes, and then I can add that to a Woolworths shop. So it really does help in the afternoons when you don't know what to cook. You've got your recipe there, it gives you step by step. You're just hitting next, basically putting things in and hitting next. It's so simple. I don't know if you saw what I did recently with the curry chicken and cauliflower rice. That was really, really good. That went down really well with the children. So 400 grams of baker's flour. Make sure it's on 0. Right. Close. 400. Right. 30 grams of olive oil. I have a lot less measuring cups to wash up after I'm cooking with this as well. A couple more drops. Right, 30 grams. 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Come on. Insert. So then it's going to knead it for me. So it's just going to do that. Saves me getting it all over my hands, all over the bench top, all over everything. I have here as well. This is my Thermomix mat where you can roll out all your doughs and things. And then once the dough is rolled out, you just fold it in. Fold your dough up and then you pop it in somewhere warm. So this is just going to knead for 2 minutes. Like I said, while this is happening, you could be doing anything. So, what is something that you would like to see me cook in the Thermomix? Let me know. What's your favourite food? I can cook most things in here. I've been doing cakes. The kids make things. It's so easy. Like you can get your kids in the kitchen cooking because it's step by step. There's no knives for them to cut themselves. If you have an injury, like I have had that many injuries. I've had a broken right hand. That was interesting to cook food. These are the things that, it helps you with. If you have a disability, it's really, really good as well. But I find, allowing the kids to cook in here with this is amazing. Like my mum now is using a Thermomix. She didn't it wasn't something she was going to do before, but she's found, the things that she can do in there is so much easier, and it's all here for you. The recipe, everything. So you're not wondering what to cook, how much to get, how much to pour in. I know when I use my phone for a recipe, I'm like doing this and I'm trying to, you know, pour things into a bowl or whatever it is. But when it's in the Thermomix and you're just hitting next, 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 it's telling you it's such a great time saver. So they also do, like, if you, they've got a baby food section. So if you have a baby, I wish I had one of these when I had babies, because you just put it in and it just cooks it. So I do pureed fruit for my daughter because she loves it. So I'll put in the apples, pears, strawberries, cook them in here with a tiny, tiny bit of water, and then you just hit blend at the end. You're not using a couple of different, what do you call them, accessories in the kitchen. So transfer dough onto a silicone bread mat or floured work surface. So I don't need to flour it. So again, saving myself some mess. Oh my gosh, smell that. It's nice and warm. So here it's going to tell me to break it in two so I can make 2 pizzas. I'm going to make one big one. Work each half into a ball and then wrap loosely. So I'm just going to, see, it's already kneaded it for me. I don't need to do too much, but I want to get it in a nice ball. There we go. See all the basil in there, or a little bit, I can smell the garlic too. So now I'm just going to wrap this up in here instead of a tea towel, and I'm going to sit it over near the oven where it's really warm, and I'm going to let that rest for 15 minutes. So once that's rested for 15 minutes, I'll come back on and I'll show you what to do next. But this is where, see this, honestly, you ask my kids, when I used to make pizza dough, there would be flour like in a space all around here, in my hair, all over my fingers, up my arms, in my elbows, all over my clothes, all over the apron. Ta-da! No mess. That's massive bonus for me, because if you ask my dad, I am the messiest cook. I am a very clean person, but he used to say, you get every item out in the kitchen and you use all these dishes. So now I don't do that, which I don't live with him, so it doesn't benefit him at all. But Mum does, and she uses her Thermomix. So yeah, that's what I'll do. Then I'm just going to spread it out onto here, put some of the basil and garlic with some olive oil, a bit of salt maybe, and let that cook, and then you will see a really nice afternoon snack for the kids. Okay, I'm going to be finishing off the pizza Bianca. So I just turned it back on and it says, would you like to continue your last recipe? Yes, I would. So using your hands, press out. We might need this, hey? So here is my dough, and it has got bigger. Ooh. See, no mess. I'm going to put it on there. I could probably actually, I'll see how big it makes it. Using your hands, press out one of the balls of dough onto a prepared baking or pizza tray. So I'm going to spread it out all the way. So if you want it thinner, cut it into 2. Spread this out. Sprinkle dough with half of the reserved garlic and rosemary mixture and a little extra sea salt. You want to make sure it's even. I want too thick in certain spots or too thin. That's what, there's a bit thin, that's a bit thin. You can use a rolling pin, but that'll do. Now, bit of salt. Put it all over me. And drizzle with a little olive oil and bake. Just going to get it everywhere, put a bit more on. For 10 to 20 minutes. So this will probably take a bit longer because, see, if I had my pizza oven, it would be like 2 minutes. So I pop that in the oven, and then you can sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on when you're done, anything like that. I'm going to pop this in the oven and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the pizza. So if you want it thinner, you can roll it out much thinner. I'm going to put a little bit of the reserved stuff on here. Put a bit of oil in it. You can drizzle some oil over it more if you like. But I've milled some Parmesan cheese in here with a little bit of lemon zest. I'm just going to pour that over while it's hot. That will just melt onto it. This is fresh Parmesan, by the way. I don't use powdered stuff. The Thermomix I didn't have to grate it. Thermomix did that for me. So there we go. A little bit of lemon zest in there. Really yummy. I'm going to try it. I haven't had it yet, so might as well use it all. Need a bigger board. That's hot. Yum. It's a pretty good snack. Tana, would you like some? He doesn't want to be a video. But I want to show you how I clean the machine. So this has got hot water in it. Gonna bring the blade, put a tiny drop of dishwashing liquid in. Oh, what am I doing? So I'm gonna put it on 30 seconds. And then I'm just gonna put it on speed 5 and I'm gonna turn the blade backwards. So I'm gonna do it on 5. If I press this little blade here, it rotates the blade back the other way. Do that a couple of times. And then clean the bowl, and all I have to do is tip that out and just rinse it, really. I won't do that now. So there you go. It does clean itself. So it, you know, saves so much time. The lack of mess that I have here is what really, you know, gets me going, because I hate mess, and I don't want my kitchen having flour everywhere. So this is a really good little snack. Pizza Bianca. If you have a Thermomix, drop in the comments if you've cooked this before, let me know. But if this is something that you would like to look into, you want some more information, let me know. I'll pop the link in the comments to looking at the Thermomix, but it is a great investment. They do have plans where you can pay weekly over 24 months. It's a really minimum amount, but it is a massive investment in if you want to save your time. Because for me, the fact that I can plan my meals, I can come here every afternoon and go, right, that's what I want to, that's what I'm cooking tonight. I already know the ingredients and everything, and it does the chopping, it does the sauteing. I'm not stirring all the time. It is a really simplified way of cooking, and I know how to cook, so it's not just for people who can't cook, it's for everybody. So let me know if you want some more information. I'll send that to you, because you're going to save yourself a lot of time and you're investing your money in your time.